Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm George Grace Jr. Welcome to Wednesday evening in the Peoria Municipal Band. Beautiful night for a concert. Well, our theme tonight is outer space, and we have Miss Dawn Clark from the French horn section. She's going to be playing a solo later on in the program. And Alex Poulin is our vocalist for this week. A lot of good music lined up for you. Again, beautiful evening for a concert, so please welcome Alex Poulin and Dr. David Vroman.
Will you please rise if you are able and join me in singing our national anthem? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Weather is just about perfect. Boy, we were due for this, I think. Public service announcement for those of you out by the tracks. If you hear this particular sound, then all you have to do is just stand up and walk back away from the tracks so that the train doesn't have to stop and wait on us. Okay, and we've lucked out so far, so we're probably due for a train. You just never know, right? Outer space is our theme tonight. I don't know if you've been watching the news and you remember what happened 50 years ago. So we were trying to link those things in just a little bit. But we're going to start with a question. Who knows what George Lucas's first big hit was, where they made a lot of money? Star Wars. That was not his first big hit, but that is an excellent guess, and we're going to play music from Star Wars. American Graffiti. How many people remember the film American Graffiti? George Lucas, yeah, he made a lot of money. $115 million for that back in 1973. Then he came up with this idea about a sci-fi movie. And when he went and he presented the sci-fi idea, the film company actually thought they were going to take him for money, because instead of asking for a lot of money, he asked for some royalties and rights for down the road. And they had never had a sci-fi film that made a lot of money. Well, we all know what happened with Star Wars. It's been incredible. So this is a great little symphonic suite that includes songs from Star Wars Episode 1, which was The Phantom Menace. So the Star Wars main theme, Duel of the Fates, Anakin's theme, Augie's great municipal band, and finally a little bit of the end credits. This is the symphonic suite from Star Wars. How many people remember a musical that was called My Maryland? It was a musical romance. Denise, do you remember that? Yeah. Because it was written in 1927. And whose birthday is today? Denise. Just checking. Okay, it's Denise's birthday today, so I chose this for her, since it opened September 12th, 1927, and it ran for 312 performances. Not bad in 1920, if you think about that. This is a song, though, that comes from that musical, My Maryland, and you might have heard it before. It's just simply entitled Silver Moon. But Billy Vaughn and his orchestra made a recording of this that you can find on YouTube if you want. Paul Whiteman and his orchestra. And then on live radio, the Good News Orchestra of 1940, they played it. And you can hear Meredith Willson, the music man Meredith Willson, conducting it. And then if you don't like any of those, listen to Bing Crosby do it. Or just use your imagination, sing along, pretend you know the words. A great little song by Sigmund Romberg, little waltz style, Silver Moon. Well, this week we have a newbie singing with the band, that's what we say. And Alex Poland, he's graduated just from Bradley in 2018 with a Bachelor of Science degree in music business. And participated when he was there, he was in the Bradley Chorale with Dr. John Jost and in the Chamber Singers as well. And then this last year with Corey Ganshaw. And he studied voice under Dr. Carrie Walters up on the hilltop. Performed with the chorale and chamber singers both across the United States and also in Denmark. And then you say, well, what do you do with a music business degree? Well, Alex, what he will be doing will be entering law school this fall at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. So please give Alex a nice warm welcome.
Thank you, everyone. So the first song that I'm going to be singing tonight is 76 Trombones from The Music Man. And this song has a lot of importance to me personally because The Music Man is the first musical that I ever had the chance to listen to with my grandfather as a kid. And it was partly through that exposure that I came to love music just so much. And so I'd like to dedicate this song to him. 76 trombones led the big parade, and 110 cornets close behind. There were more than 1,000 rows of the finest virtuos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, and 110 cornets close behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottomed timpani and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell, euphoniums, and big bassoons. Each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise full octave higher than the score. 76 trombones caught the counterpoint, and 110 cornets played the air. To the rhythm of hark, 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 all the kids began to march, and their marching still play. 76 trombones. The next piece on the program is My Way by Frank Sinatra. It's a true classic with a little bit of jazz, big band hint, and a whole lot of swag because that's who Sinatra was. Here we go. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I've traveled each and every highway, but more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exception. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, but more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew, but
How many Trekkies do we have in the audience? Admit it. Come on, be proud. It's okay. And what's coming out? Did you see it? What's coming up? Picard. Yeah. New news that just came out. So that was announced last week in San Diego at Comic-Con, and they talked about the release of the much-anticipated Star Trek Picard. And then, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Star Trek, how many people watched Star Trek when they were younger, shall we say? Denise, did you watch Star Trek? She did. How many people watched Star Trek? Sorry, got sidelined there. Yeah, and so it's really changed over the years. Star Trek, after the initial run, came back to television before Star Trek The Next Generation. It was a Saturday morning cartoon for a while. How many people remember the cartoon? That was not so well followed. And then, of course, it made it to the big screen. So in 1979, you had the motion picture, which at that time, it was astonishing. They made like $112 million. I would be okay with that. And then they had 5 sequels, and they all did quite well, even though people would disagree about maybe some of the picky things about that. But each year, you know, it seems like there's something there, and it's something that was invented that just kind of lives on. So it fits our outer space theme perfectly. This is an arrangement that Robert W. Smith did about Star Trek through the generations. So you'll get to hear the theme from Star Trek, you'll hear Star Trek itself, The Next Generation, and then finally the theme from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Star Trek. So now it's time to feature the best instrument in the band. What would that be? The French horn, that's right. See? Wisest crowd in town, I tell you. Not everybody agrees with that, but that's what we will say. So we're going to play a piece that was written by Barry Milner. Now, Barry Milner, does anybody know him? He's from Kentucky. Grew up down in Cynthiana, actually, Kentucky, and earned a couple bachelor's degrees and a master's degree. It's interesting, he came from a family that had no musical background at all. His dad drove a construction, he worked out on construction, drove heavy equipment, that's what he did, and the family really had no interest in music except for listening to it. But Barry had an early exposure to music and really enjoyed it and decided to make that his career. So one bachelor degree he earned in music composition and the other in music education. Then he went on and he got a master's degree at the University of Arkansas, where they gave him a full ride, full scholarship to go there. And ever since high school, he's been composing music. And oftentimes he would write it for friends. So one of the first pieces that he wrote was for trumpet, and that's because one of his friends was a trumpet player. Tonight, though, we're going to feature the French horn, and our soloist is Dawn Clark. So Dawn's been in the Municipal Band for 44 seasons, 44 years, and she teaches both privately horn and piano. She's also a member of the Peoria Symphony Orchestra for many years. Fine, accomplished pianist and plays for a lot of different shows and doing those types of things. She graduated from Bradley just a couple years ago, I think. And then she likes sci-fi, so some of the themes tonight she enjoys. And then, I don't know, this is a problem, she does like cats, okay? So she is going to play this wonderful piece. It's just a horn sonata solo for horn and band by Barry Milner. So please give Dawn Clark a great welcome, would you? We kind of joke about best instrument in the band. We have a lot of great instruments in the band, but it's always nice to hear the best one. Right, Denise? Is it your birthday today, Denise? We're going to close out the first half with a march that fits our theme a little bit. It's got both a little bit of Americana with it, as well as in the title, Stars. So it's called Stars and Bars Concert March. It's number 3. It was written by a gentleman named Robert Jager. And Robert Jager had quite an illustrious career as a composer. And one of the prestigious band composition awards you can win is the Ostwald Award. And he won that at least 3 times that I can remember. He was born back in 1939 in Binghamtown, New York, and then he also went to Wheaton College, so he had Illinois ties. And then from there he went to the University of Michigan, served in the Navy for several years and was the Navy band principal arranger for them. And then for many years he started at Tennessee Tech back in 1971 and worked up there until retirement. So this is a great little march he wrote back in 1965, Stars and Bars. Thank you so much. Don't move too far because the band commission will announce our winner for this evening. We're going to take a short intermission and then we'll be back with much more for you. Just enjoy the beautiful weather and the great company around you. And please welcome our band commission.
And you get to hear this band 3 times this week. Remember, Friday night, just 2 nights from tonight, at United Presbyterian Church at Northmore and Allen Road. Need to bring your own chairs, but there will be a concert, a play-out concert there at 7 o'clock. And so it'll be a little over an hour, so make sure that you are there for that one. 3 times this week, hearing the great band. Who wants to win $25 gift certificate to Avanti's? Hopefully you all put your name in there, right? Otherwise, you don't have a prayer. We are looking, got to learn how to, and I taught all these years, and I still can't read people's writing. Ellen Rosenbaum, is it? Is there an Ellen Rosenbaum? There you are. You are the winner. You're going to get enough bread for all of us. There we go. So congratulations, and enjoy the intermission. The band will be back.
So that number is entitled By the Light of the Polar Star, and it was written by John Philip Sousa, who wrote a lot of different suites and things. That was the first movement of 3. And what's interesting about this particular suite, which he called the Looking Upward Suite, that's how it fits our theme. And it's a little bit of a teaser for Sunday night because it's a little bit of Sousa on Sunday night. But the Looking Upward Suite, he wrote 3 movements, and when he finished the 3rd movement, he was actually in Peoria, Illinois. So this one, he was on a train in North Dakota somewhere, but when he finished this piece, they were actually here in Peoria and here to play. How many people out there are gamers? You play games on video games? StarCraft, are there any people who play StarCraft? In the band? Any people? Yeah, like 2, and they're the younger people I noticed playing this. So if I understand this right, and I could get this totally wrong, and then they will tell me how wrong I was. So StarCraft has 3 different races that are in there. You have the renegade human Terrans, scary, isn't it? The noble Pasonic Protoss, and the horrific insectoid Zerg. Okay? This is why you need to read all this stuff. The storyline covers the fortune of there's 3 races, the leaders, and what goes on. And so in Legacy of the Void, you are Harak, I'll get this all wrong, Harak Artanis, the leader of the mighty Protoss race. Years ago, your home world of Arur fell to the merciless Zerg swarm. Now, at long last, you've raised a powerful fleet of warships known as the Golden Armada, and you're poised to reclaim your world. But there's an ancient evil, Amon, who threatens this destiny and the fate of the entire galaxy. Only you can reunite the Protoss factions and defeat the coming darkness before it consumes all the life in the sector. Sounds serious, doesn't it? So this is StarCraft Legacy of the Void, and video game music has changed over the years from, simple electronic things like Pong to using full orchestra. So you're going to hear 4 songs: The Stars Out Home, The Fall of the Shakuras, and then Honor Guides Me, and finally My Life for Aur. So Bruce reminded you about our schedule this week. So Friday night, United Presbyterian Church, just off Northmore over there. And that's at 7 o'clock. That's a 1-hour concert. And that's rain or shine, by the way. If the weather is inclement, we're going to try and move indoors there. So regardless of what it's doing. But it's supposed to be beautiful again. And then Sunday evening, of course, we'll be right at Glen Oak Park, okay? Up at Glen Oak Park in the amphitheater. So that's also at 7 o'clock. So you have a chance to hear Alex sing and to hear Dawn play and hear the band as well 2 more times this week. It's great to have Alex singing with the band. I actually was after him a couple years ago to sing with the band, and he decided this week, I don't know what you would do if you were singing for the first time and how you would feel about that, but this was the week he decided that he would get engaged. So he's engaged and he's singing. Please welcome the engaged Alex Pullen.
So the next piece that we'll be doing is actually from the movie Aladdin. I don't know how many of you have seen Aladdin. Show of hands. So there's 2 Aladdins. There's the Robin Williams Aladdin and there's the Will Smith Aladdin. How many people like the Robin Williams Aladdin? The first one. Yeah, that's a good one right there. And I would argue no matter which one you've seen or which one's your favorite, that the genie is actually the main character of the movie and also one of the fun ones as well. Both of the pieces we'll be doing are performed by the genie, Robin Williams or Will Smith. Here we go. Alibaba had them 40 thieves, Scheherazade had 1,000 tales. But master, you got something up your sleeve, the brand of magic that never fails. You got some power in your corner now, some heavy ammunition in your can. You got some punch, pizzazz, yahoo, wow. So all you gotta do is rub that lamp. And I'll say, Monsieur Aladdin, sir, what will your pleasure be? I'll take your order, I'll jot it down. You ain't never had a friend like me. Prince Ali, mighty is he, Ali Ababa, strongest 10 regular men, definitely. He faced the galloping hordes, 100 bad guys with swords, who sent those goons to their lords. Why, Prince Ali, he's got 75 golden camels, purple peacocks, he's got 53. When it comes to exotic type mammals, has he got a few? I'm telling you, it's a Prince Ali. Prince Ali, mighty is he, Ali Ababa, strongest 10 regular men, definitely. He faced those galloping hordes, 100 bad guys with swords, who sent those goons to their lords. Why, Prince Ali, he's got 75 golden camels. Count them up. He's got peacocks, he's got 53. When it comes to exotic type mammals, has he got a few? I'm telling you, they're for Prince Ali. The last one I'll be performing for you tonight is from a musical called Jekyll and Hyde. I know, it's a little bit of a change from Aladdin. So the piece that I'll be doing specifically is called This Is the Moment. And during the musical, this piece occurs right at the first change from Jekyll into Hyde. And you'll actually see that contrast in the music. He starts out in a very warm E-flat as the warm, affable Dr. Jekyll. And then we see a sudden key change, and you'll notice in the words as well, the mood of the song changes towards the end as he becomes Hyde for the first time. This is the moment, this is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have had ever is coming into play, is here and now today. This is the moment, this is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I'll gather up my past and make this moment last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the screaming, scheming and dreaming become one. This is the day, see it sparkle and shine, when all I've lived for becomes mine. For all these years I've faced the world alone, and now it's time to prove to them that I can finally make it on my own. This is the moment, the greatest moment. This is the moment. This is the day. See it sparkle and shine. This is the moment, the greatest moment of all. This is the moment from all the odds. This day or never, I'll sit forever with the gods. This is the day I will always recall, moment for moment. This is the moment, the greatest moment of them
So you can join us and Alex 7 o'clock on Friday and then also on Sunday. Salute to American Jazz is an arrangement that Sammy Nestico did. Sammy Nestico, very prolific composer, arranger, and he wrote for jazz and big bands quite often. But he also had an interest in the concert band as well. He got his bachelor's degree from Duquesne University, and he arranged for small little orchestras like the Count Basie Orchestra. He wrote for them, as well as the United States Air Force Band with the Marine Band in Washington, D.C., and did a whole bunch of TV things, so you've all heard his music, even if you didn't know it. Salute to American Jazz, that is a collection, really, of 4 different songs that are all a little bit different in style. So we start out with a little Dizzy Gillespie with A Night in Tunisia, followed by W.C. Handy's St. Louis Blues, and then Duke Ellington, It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't That Got That Swing, and then Weather Report's Birdland. And of course, many of you know Birdland referred to the New York City club of the same name. It was made popular by the saxophonist Charlie the Bird Parker. So this is great arrangements by Sammy Nestico. Salute to American Jazz. There's quick step marches like what John Philip Sousa writes or Henry Fillmore, and then there are concert marches. And many of the concert marches that many bands have played throughout the years have been written by this gentleman, Eric Osterling. And Mr. Osterling got a music ed degree from Ithaca College way back in 1948. And in his city, he was just a regular old music teacher who, giving up all those extra hours and working really hard on behalf of his students, and then writing music both for his bands and other bands. Ended up being named Man of the Year in his own community and everything, and just did a great service for music education over the years. So this is one of his concert marches, and it's just simply entitled the Thundercrest Concert March. Thank you so much. We're appreciative of you coming out tonight and supporting us throughout the summer. So Friday night and Sunday of this week. And we want to ask you a favor, too. If you enjoy what we do, it's always good to let our city leaders know that, whether it's your council person or the mayor, just drop them a short email that says, boy, we appreciate having the band during the summer. And I think they always enjoy hearing positives, because normally in those positions, they're just hearing from people who have complaints and trying to find resolutions to problems. So if you can do that for us, that would be great. We want to thank a number of different people this evening. We want to thank, first of all, our sound man, Mr. Todd Pilon. Give him a big round of applause. He's back there. He's also a licensed drone pilot, so if you're looking for a drone to fly at your wedding or something, please see Todd. And then we want to thank our soloist this evening, Alex Pullen. Give him a big round of applause. And then on the best instrument in the band, Miss Dawn Clark on French horn, her as well. And as you know, behind the scenes, there's a number of people that make this thing go. Kristen Sheets is our band librarian. Laurel Filson Etzel is our assistant conductor. George Graves Jr. is our band manager. Liz Driscoll does publicity. Frank Gutierrez, he does just about anything we ask. And also in the back, the percussion guy back there, Mr. Potts, he tweets and stuff. So give them all a nice round of applause, would you please? So we hope to see you again. We hope the weather will cooperate as it did tonight. And we close, as we always do, giving you a few moments to reflect on what a great country it is in which we live. This is America the Beautiful.